Barenaked. ABCs.
Well, we'll get into this once we get in. I'll correct this other piece about... actually, I can still paste this in. Okay. Now, for conventioneers, the original name for the song was Senior Citizens in Love, but they decided that it's not what the song is really about, and they changed it. I have to agree with them. It doesn't surmise the song.
It's an actual lie. It's a false, you know what I mean? They don't even make it to Senior Citizens in Love.
Exactly.
They don't make it another day.
Right. They make it till about 2 a.m, and then it's all over.
Middle-aged office workers in lust. It's a more appropriate title.
I like Conventioneers. I think Conventioneers fits pretty well.
Oh, yeah. It's I got to tell you.
Perfect.
I've heard Michelle mention it a few times, and I knew it was going to be good because we are really usually pretty much in sync. Mm-hmm. So I was looking forward to it, but I was good, and I didn't preview it. I waited till the week we were reviewing it, and I was really looking forward to it. It's fantastic. It's a great song, but I didn't know what to expect, because Conventioneers, that could be anything,
Sure.
I didn't know it was going to be like a one-night stand song. So I mean, it definitely. As soon as I heard, I think it was. So now we're in the bath, I just started losing it. I was like, okay, that's great. I'm on board.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's such a good song.
Did you think it was going to be about people dressed up in Star Trek regalia?
Well, that's where my mind goes, because I'm a nerd. But,
That's hilarious. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I hope it lived up to all my hype.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's one of the best we've heard.
And the more you listen to it, the more you just kind of get into the nuances of it, which is the whole reason why I love BNL. So
it kind of reminds me. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure this was before. What year was Maroon?
2000.
Okay, so that's probably before like Flight of the Conchords and all that. But it kind of reminds me of their style. Some of their songs, like "Business Time" or like. The most beautiful girl in the room. It's some of their stuff really kind of reminds me of that.
That's
now
hilarious.
You got me wondering, and I'm looking it up.
I heard they're
it's
on tour
gonna be
again.
in the
I would
late.
love to see them.
Late
1998.
Yeah, late 90s, early
Maroon
2000s.
Was?
I was gonna say.
Yeah, Flight of the Conchords was like early to mid 2000s, I think, right when they first took off. At least I'm sure they've been around for a while, but.
Right, they were probably big in Australia, then took off. And it crossed the ocean.
Apologies to Brett and Jermaine. We know you're from New Zealand.
New Zealand, yes, but they were probably big in Australia before they came here. I mean,
probably. nice recovery. They have a song about how they're not Australian.
Well, yes. I mean, I have it right here in front of me that they're from Wellington, New Zealand, but. Now I'm going to have them coming after me.
Please come on the show. Brett and Jermaine, we love you. We know you listen. Please come on the show. That'd be fantastic.
That would be amazing. All right, let's start with the podcast proper. All right. Oh, and of course I didn't write an intro to this one.
You don't need to.
Just say, Tracy. Did we remember to count down before we started recording so we could sync up our tracks?
I was just going to do that.
We did.
Little behind
Testing.
the scenes magic.
1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, no, it's a different song. That's counting up, and it's a different song altogether. Yeah, you're right. This week is counting down. So, welcome to the Barenaked ABCs, where we are reviewing every song from 7 to Y as we count alphabetically, and when we did the numbers, we counted up. But this week, instead of counting up, we are counting down.
Nice.
Counting down is easy. It comes down to what are you prepared to do. The sound is teasing. The feeling it ain't the wind that gets to two. Just hold your breath and take one big step over the precipice and fall
covered the song Counting Down from Silverball in 2015. This is the first song off from Silverball that we are covering. Sort of. It really wasn't on Silverball. It was an extra. The song was only on the Best Buy bonus track, and you can't actually buy it anywhere right now.
Best Buy bonus track. Say that 5 times.
Yes.
That explains things.
Yeah, wow, okay. Sounds like you and I are going to be very much in sync again, Michelle.
It's going to be an interesting week, I think. This whole album was written in 23 days. And
I will reserve comment.
It was written during the period when Kevin found out that he has tongue cancer before he had his surgery.
Well, now I feel bad.
I gotta throw that in there.
Kevin is the great equalizer.
Kevin, we love you. Please come on the show. We know you listen.
We would love for Kevin to be on the show.
Kevin, yes.
But this wasn't written by Kevin.
No, it was written by Ed, right?
This was written by Ed.
Clearly.
And Kevin didn't even play the keyboards on this song.
Wait, what?
Kevin did not play the keyboards on this song.
Did he not? Did he play the solo?
I do not believe so.
Wow.
On this song, keyboards are giving credit to a Mike Evan.
Evan.
So this is just like a studio album whipped out in 23 days. They just didn't really care. They got their songs written. They put it out. They got their money.
Well, it's interesting because in all of their interviews, they were very, very, very pumped up about this album. Very into it, but I almost wonder if Kevin didn't join on this song because it was recorded while he was in the process of his treatment.
I'm sure.
I'm wondering if that's what happened. Because Kevin does amazing, so why they would replace him for someone for one song doesn't make sense. So it's got to have been something along those lines.
Maybe that's why it didn't make it on the album. He put his foot down and was like, that's bullshit. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because that sounds totally like Kevin. Listen,
we don't
guys.
know. He could be a tyrant. We don't know.
Listen, guys, I'm not going to have it on the album.
If you don't mind.
Maybe everyone gets a veto. It's like us. We get a one block.
Oh, the block.
Yeah,
he
one
said.
The block.
Kevin used his block.
They each get a block on the album, and that was his block. This was offered for a very limited time. You can get it on Spotify in Canada right now, but that's it.
Yeah, I looked for it on my Spotify and could not find it, so I guess it's region specific.
Maybe they've even taken it off that.
Well, I know that I'm part Canadian,
Canada.
but I'm not actually in Canada.
Oh, that's true. So
no, like Spotify tests my DNA when I log in. What is this, Blade Runner?
I wonder if you could log in via VPN in Canada and try to sift it that way.
I bet you could.
I wonder. If you can figure out how to do that, let me know, because then we can also get a copy of Steven when he was on Celebrity Chopped and won Celebrity Chopped.
I didn't know he was on Chopped.
He was,
I like
and
that show,
I have reached out to the TV show Chopped like many times now. It's like,
Chopped,
please
come
give
on the
me
show.
access to this Chopped, because he won, and I want to see, like, he won in 2017, and I want to see the episode where he won and what he cooked.
Craft dinner.
Damn.
So, and that's not even our appearance for this week. So,
wow, a little bonus thrown in
We're
there.
all over the place tonight.
We're so extra tonight.
it's a very rare song to be able to get a hold of. The album, however, did really well. This album did very, very well. It got number 3 on the Billboard in Canada.
In Canada.
Oh, Canada.
It was on the US Billboard. It hit number 46. On digital albums, it hit number 13. Independent albums, it hit number 5. And US top rock albums for Billboard, it hit number 5. So it did pretty well when it came out.
I have to be honest, I don't own this album, and I don't think I've ever listened to it.
This is the only album by Barenaked Ladies, and I have to admit this, that I only own the digital copy of. I don't have a hard copy of this album. And I've gone to Bull Moose. Bull Moose, give us some money. I've gone to Bull Moose many times.
Sponsored by Bull Moose.
I actually know the guy who does the social media for Bull Moose, so maybe we can make that happen.
We should have him on.
Mick, we love you. Please come on the show. We know you listen.
We know you listen.
They don't sell it at Bull Moose. You can't even get a old copy of this at Bull Moose. And I've been to like 5 different stores.
If Musicland was still open, they'd have it.
Which one?
Musicland.
Which one?
Musicland.
Which one?
Musicland.
Give us some money. Yeah, they might. They might have.
They've been gone for like 20 years.
I was going to say, I don't know what Musicland... I know I remember Strawberries. You remember
Strawberries, yeah.
Remember berries.
So speaking of Musicland,
yes.
why don't we talk about the music?
Break now.
Aaron's hot take.
Nice. There we go. Haven't had one of those in a while. Yeah, so Counting Down was recorded in exactly 93 beats per minute. Again, this is something we hear in more recent BNL. They used a click track. I should state for the rectory.
That's a whole other thing.
Sorry, we got Christmas Mass coming up. No, we don't. That was in the past. All right, we got to edit this whole segment out here. I may have been drinking scotch before the show.
This is all staying in.
So let's start. Yeah, is everything? Just keep it in. Starting over.
No, counting
right.
down. Just like starting over is John Lennon.
There we go. It'll be just... Never mind. All right, so Counting Down was recorded at exactly 93 BPM. Again, this is something we hear in more recent BNL. They used a click track to record. I should state for the record, there is nothing inherently bad or good about that. It's just something that I've continued to notice. Their earlier work is far less likely to be recorded to a click track or a metronome, so it sort of drags and rushes, speeds up a little bit, slows down a little bit. Usually very tight, usually within 1 or 2 BPM.
I wonder if that has more to do with, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I wonder if that has to do with just industry norms. Like that's what everybody does now, so they just do that.
It is much more common. I mean, if you came into the studio, especially if you are like a big deal, like back their first few albums, when they weren't like a household name, maybe they may have been able to get away with that a little bit. But now I feel like if you're an established band, you come into the studio, they're like, so here's what's the tempo for this? And you're like, well, whatever, we're just gonna play it. They'll be like, no, what's the tempo?
We need to lock this down.
Because the thing is, it is a lot easier, and I can speak to this as an audio engineer. If you need to if you record it to a click track, and somebody messes up on like the guitar part in the second verse, you can take the part from the first verse and just copy and paste it over. You know what I mean? Get this all to a track. So you can. I mean, I don't think that happens a lot. Usually they just kind of punch in or whatever. But my point is that it's much more consistent. It's easier for everyone to work with, and it's easier to fix stuff in post. So yeah, you just hear that less and less nowadays. But I don't know. Part of me kind of likes, maybe because I'm jazz trained. I like hearing it. Just waver just a little bit, and I like to hear it kind of maybe speed up in the more passionate sections and slow down a bit when it cools down. To me, it's like hearing a singer's voice crack. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I like that. I don't like everything to be super polished and robotic, super auto-tuned.
Well, and
so
neither
I like
does
hearing
Tyler.
Little bits of humanity. Oh, I'm sure. As a drummer, I hate playing to a click track. I hate it. I'm sure he does too.
The next time that we come to a song off Maybe You Should Drive, we'll talk about this a little bit more. But yeah, Tyler hates click tracks.
Tyler, come on the show. We can talk about how much click tracks suck.
All right, I've derailed you. We've lost our rhythm.
Yeah. Anyway, 93 beats per minute. Long time to say that. It's in the key of A major. Before I really dive into this, I want to preface this by saying that when I first listened to this and started to map out the form of the song, I was counting the chorus sections as verses and the verses as choruses. Now, the fact that I initially did not notice that this song began on the chorus and then went into the first verse indicates something. And that something is that the verse and the chorus sections have the exact same chord progressions. The difference is that the verse is in halftime or the chorus is in double time, depending on your point of view, I suppose. Rather, the time spent on each chord is doubled in the verse.
Oh.
So the fact that it has the chorus in front of the first verse is kind of interesting, I suppose. There's no way I'm going to be able to avoid sounding like an arrogant jerkhole in this episode. I've just realized.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be being sound like a jerkhole later on. Just won't be an
this
arrogant jerkhole.
This will be the arrogant jerkhole episode.
Arrogant, huh?
A very special episode.
So we start off with the intro, which is just the tonic chord. It's the 1. And then we launch into the chorus, which is 4-1-5 D A E. It flirts very briefly with the 6, the F sharp, but then goes back into the 4-1-5 grind. Then we go into the verse. The first verse, 4-1-5.